Hello, Facebook. Thanks everyone for joining me again. This is day 2 of David Caruso Live for all of our friends on Facebook. Thanks for hanging in there. Usually we have a little bit of a countdown with some fun, funky music for you, but today we are just a few minutes late, so I appreciate your time, and I am looking forward to having all of you join the conversation. As you know, we have a great lineup of guests. I am so delighted that Mr. Gregg Marcus is with us today from the Marcus Corporation, and we are going to end our conversation with another great Milwaukee friend, Mazen Muna, who I'm sure you will love to hear from. He has all kinds of great businesses in our area and is doing some super cool things. So I know that our guests today are going to be fun and engaging to listen to. Make sure that you like and share down on your screen so that all of our friends can join our conversation. I'll be watching your comments. I already see Jessica Jacobs here to see Gregg. Cindy McLeod, so great to see you again today. Brian, Cindy Rosenberg, thanks everyone, and everyone is here to listen. So have fun today. I'm glad you're here, and I'm going to start by introducing Mr. Gregg Marcus. As many of you know, Gregg is such a great friend to Milwaukee and beyond. He has a great history here. His family is amazing, huge community supporters, and across our country, operating hotel outlets and movie theaters. So we have a lot to talk about with Gregg today, and we are excited to welcome him. So Gregg, how are you?
I'm doing good, David. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you again. You know, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you have a lot going on in your world, and I really appreciate it. Where are we talking to you from?
From my home.
Me too. Dining room for me.
No, in my office.
Ah,
I'm in my.
nice,
By the
nice.
way, hi Sydney. I see my Sydney's on this watching too. So
Oh yeah, there's Sydney. So fun. I think this is going to be super cool because I know a lot of your teammates were really excited that you were going to be on today. So I'm sure we'll be seeing them. But you know, Gregg, I was thinking as I was preparing for our conversation, there's so many things that people know about you, but I think there are a few things that maybe people don't. And one of the things that I love about your family story, and I thought we could start with like 2 quick rapid fire little tidbits of your history. But I came across the great Mark's Big Boys story, and I think if I have this right, it was your grandfather Ben, correct?
yep. My grandfather.
1957.
No. Oh, there's Peggy. Hey, Peg.
Hey, Peggy.
I'm being distracted by the chat. Sorry.
I know. So Mark's Big Boy, and in this by the 70s, I think your family had 22 outlets in the Midwest. Is that true?
Oh no, there were more than that. It goes back a little bit farther than this. My grandfather had made the decision to get in the restaurant business. Had to be the 50s actually, and he ended up. It's a longer story, but he ended up buying franchise rights to Big Boy. Bob's Big Boy was the
Wow.
original out in California. He had seen it and he with a business partner, and he said, I should get. I like this idea, and he ended up bringing it back to the Midwest. He had ended up with the rights for 4 states, and the restaurants at one point were the biggest part of our business. We had 110 restaurants, and we must have had, I think,
Wow.
65 Big Boys, 30 some odd Kentucky Fried Chicken. We had Applebee's at one time, Captain Steak Joint, an old favorite for many people. That was part of our business. So it
Wow.
just shows you how businesses change over time.
That's so cool. The other thing that I love about you that I'm not sure everyone knows, but for those of us that have enjoyed Mr.
Nope.
Piano Man, but music is a big part of what you love too, right?
Oh yeah, I'm a big piano. I mean, I play the piano. When we're open, I like to play on our properties. I
Yeah, we've
usually
seen you up
that's
in
Mason Street
blue.
Grill right there. Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen you in Mason Street Grill up in blue. It's always so fun to like walk into blue and there you are with the guys jamming out. So I love that you take the time for that part of your passion too.
Yep.
So moving on to some of the hot topics of the world right now, but Marcus Theaters, of course, just a huge part of what your business is about. I believe, if this is right, that in Wisconsin we have 24 Marcus cinemas. There's over 1,100 screens stretched across 91 locations in 17 states. I mean, that's a lot of movie screens to be operating.
Yes,
What
it
is
is.
kind of the current status of your theaters across the country?
Well, I mean, for the most part, primarily closed. I mean, that's I mean, I can now we haven't we haven't completely we aren't we there's not much we can do given what's going on. But for example, though, we've been doing out of any of the Zephyros around here. You've got there's two full service Zephyro. We have Zephyros Express in a lot of the theaters, but we have two Zephyros here on the North Shore and at the Ridge. And those you can, we've got a full menu. You can and you can order order for pickup, and it's
Right.
great. I do it. I do it with some frequency. And the pizza's delicious, and we've got that. In most of our theaters, we also do popcorn pickup. So if you want popcorn or
Mm.
concessions, you can order. Go online, go on the app, go to the website. You can order online and order concessions. We also will ship out like a care pack with popcorn and a movie pass and some candy. And
Wow.
so we're doing that, and also we're actually tomorrow we're going to actually do our first in a long time. We used to have many of them. We're going to do a drive-in theater in Nebraska.
Wow, that's cool. I was reading that you were thinking of doing that. So Nebraska tomorrow is going to be your first experience with that.
Yeah, we're going to put a screen on one of the buildings on the theater. It's called Twin Creek. It's on the south side of Omaha, and we're going to we're going to be showing movies. I actually don't even know what movies we're showing in Nebraska tomorrow. But oh, Sandy, you like popcorn pickup? Yeah, it's fun. But we're going to be showing. We know, look, we don't think this is permanently the way people are going to watch movies, but right now, it's one way to watch movies. It will be one way to watch movies is you can drive up in your car and you can turn it and it'll be the sound will be broadcast on your radio just like drive-ins of old.
Wow.
But we'll only have one screen there and then we'll see how it goes and go from there.
That's cool. And I think what you mentioned about the popcorn pickups and Zaffiro's Pizza, at least here locally, is one of the things I love about that is for people that are kind of at this time forced to make our own movie nights at home with the family or kids, you can make it, as authentic as possible with some of our famous treats from Marcus movie theaters, which is cool. Right before the theater shut down, we enjoyed a experience at the out at Brookfield Square. And this was the movie tavern. This was a really impressive place and kind of a new concept recently, right?
Well, it's not the movie tavern. We bought the chain about a year and a half,
Okay.
little under a year and a half ago. And it's where the idea is it's all dine in. It's a little bit, look at it's movies and dining have been moving together for a while. But if you think about at the Majestic, we've got the big screen bistros there. This is like a full theater of all big screen bistros, but it's called but it's a little bit different. We've got a little bit different menu. We've got a very robust bar. It's a great bar. And so that's what movie tavern is. But it's the idea of dining in the theater and as you're watching the movie.
That's so cool. And, as we're thinking about maybe what a movie experience might be like as we're coming up to, at some point, reopening things, what are you thinking about? I've been reading a little bit about like a touchless movie experience or some of the things that I know your team is already working through to maybe implement when the theaters start to open back up.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. We're working towards, starting to get reopened up. The hope is that Tenant is released on July 17th, and that we're ready to be able to have people in the theaters to see that movie because it's going to be supposedly a spectacular movie.
Wow.
the idea is what we would call low to no contact, which is, I think a lot of people are, how do we have a low to no contact experience and going, what is it going to be like to go to the movies? Everyone says the new normal. Well, this is not the new normal. I'm hoping it's the new temporary, because hopefully they're going to solve, and we will solve as a country and as
Right.
the virus, the issue of how to deal with the virus. But in the meantime, we do know that social distancing is a way of dealing with this, and so and lowering to making low to no contact. So you can buy your ticket on the app or on the website. You have it on your phone. You get your tickets on your phone, so you don't have to go to the box office. You can order your concessions on your phone, and we had started moving to that. We're pretty far ahead of the curve in the industry on that. We had just started moving to that over the last year. We've been testing it. If you had to know where it was, but I've been ordering off the app at the North Shore for a while. But and the movie tavern, you can order off the app at the movie tavern as well. So you order your concessions. So you come in. You don't have to stop at the box office. You stop off and pick up your food. It's bagged, ready to go. You don't have to order it from anybody. You walk in. You scan your ticket or show it to your phone. Really, not a ticket. Usually
Right.
phone. So you have no touch point there. And then you go in and you sit down in the theater. And we've sanitized the seats and cleaned all the seats. In between every show, we'll have extra long time to clean the theater. You will only sit next to someone you're with, like a family member,
Right.
somebody you came with. There'll be 2 seats in between. Because of most of our theaters are recliners, where you have recliners, we have 7 feet between rows. So
Yeah.
so we were able to create a 6-foot clearance around everybody.
Right.
And you sit in the theater, frankly, and different than anything else is, you're not even talking. You're sitting there very quietly and hopefully enjoying a great show. And so we think that we can deliver an experience that's safe for our customers, safe for our guests, gets them out of the house. I know everybody's itching to get out and go out and do some
Oh
stuff.
my gosh.
And
People definitely are. So you mentioned, first of all, you're right. I mean, a lot of your movie theaters are pretty much set up for it because of those recliners, which are my absolute favorites. And so you mentioned, was it July 17th was kind of a hopeful target for that big movie?
yeah, now we can't just open up July 17th. So,
Right. Right.
we'll be, and it all will depend on, frankly, it really depends on the coasts. As New York and LA are going to
Yeah.
get open. They don't want to open a movie nationally unless they can really, they don't want to open it unless they can open it nationally in the big markets. And so
Right.
we're a little bit subject to what they're going to do. If that moves, then that might change our plans, but we will start to work and open up in phases and start to test out the different things we're talking about doing. Because it's one thing to write it on paper, because it's really, I gave you a very thumbnail sketch of how that all plays.
Right.
About every detail and how will our people that are working there and who is going to be on cleaning detail, and that'll be very clear, and we're maintaining a very clean environment. And how do you operate in this new temporary?
Right. And I love that, Gregg. I love your phrase of new temporary. I'm going to steal that from you because I think that, it's so great. People are going to know they can come back to your movie theaters and be safe and be comfortable and enjoy good food, good service, good movies. And like you said, it's important for now, and hopefully there's probably going to be some lasting impact, but for the most part, I love your phrase of the new temporary. What do you think might be, though, some lasting impact on the movie theater industry?
I'm hoping that people actually have a new appreciation for it. Because they say, "Man, I miss it." It's, you don't miss it till it's gone, right? That's the old saying. And so now that it's so having it be gone, people say, "You know what? I really do appreciate the ability to be out and be in an environment that's different than my home." And you can watch movies at home. I've watched movies at home. We've been watching movies at home. It's not the same.
No,
it's not the same.
It's not. Hey, Linda Price Top says hi. So a lot of fun
hey,
people. Brad, so cool.
My gang. All my peeps.
Now, Gregg, I thought this was so funny because today, when I posted a reminder to join us, somebody said, "Is it strange to say that I miss seeing Gregg Marcus on the movie screen?" So not only are people are you missing people in the movie theaters, people are missing you as well. So that was
I know that actually that I'm like I know I'm a meme for some people. I know that some people like to have a little fun at my expense. That's okay. you know what? It's funny. I said, I can't believe I missed them.
That's so cool. So moving on to the hotels and resorts side of the business, I think I'm not sure, but it might have been maybe March 24th, might have been the date where I
Oh, wait a
think.
minute. My wife is watching.
Oh, there's Linda. There she is. Yay! I love that. Super fabulous, Linda Marcus. Good
He
to
is
see
super
you.
fabulous.
So I think it was March 24th, where that was maybe the date where about 20 of your properties across the country ended up temporarily closing. What, obviously, that wasn't a good feeling. I know the answer, but maybe from a personal viewpoint, what has been the hardest part about going through this with having to temporarily close down some of these hotels?
Look at the people. The people issues are just
Yeah.
so hard. We have so many great people that work for our company. And by the way, when we get to the other side of it, the other side of all this, the reason we're going to get there is because of all those great.
Hmm.
But when there's no customers and we don't have work for people, we have no choice but to have to temporarily lay them off, and that's been unbelievably hard. It's been a huge challenge.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I think that for some of the people that I've still been working with that are currently working through some of these challenges on your team in their positions now have been just unbelievably amazing. And I know that it's challenging, but the way that your people have been handling it has been first class. And I know that a lot of that is a reflection of you. So I appreciate the motivation for them because it shows.
Thank you.
But I do know the people part is the hardest thing for sure. And right now, at least locally, what is the status of the property? So we hear a lot of our Milwaukee friends, of course. Oh, well, first of all, as we talk about this, I wanted to show people our check-in time as the first guest at the St. Kate, one of
Yes,
the
that's
most
right.
fabulous properties in Milwaukee, and one that we love. So the St. Kate.
There's that great
And
Alex
and I
Katz piece behind the front desk that my wife Linda picked out.
Yes,
It was good to
so
see.
beautiful. So right now, the St. Kate, I believe, is one of the temporarily closed properties. Do I have that right?
Yes, they're all
Okay.
temporarily closed right now.
And the St. Kate, as you said, was fairly a new project open to our community. People love it. Travelers from around the globe already love the St. Kate. So I know people are excited to experience the Arts Hotel in its glory again. Of course, the very famous Pfister Hotel. And what about the dining outlets? I know in all of your properties, the restaurants are those no carry out or curbside as of now, right?
We haven't really had much of that. No, just the numbers didn't seem to work out for that at that point.
Right.
The only thing we did something actually very fun last week, last Saturday night. Mason Street Grill did like you were able to go, you could get a meal kit and then be part of a group that did a wow, you're good, David, pulling up these.
That's my favorite spot, Greg,
Oh
on
man,
that corner.
that's exact. That chef's our chef's counter, kitchen counter. The they set up a thing where you could you'd stop off at the restaurant, pick up all the ingredients for a meal. So and it was steak and lobster and the famous Mason Street Grill chopped salad and the seared tuna but none of it was cooked. It was all, and
Wow.
so then we all got on a Zoom, and I think they did it for about 15 to 20 people. Um, Mrs. Smith was actually on there. She was apparently Tim Smith's sous chef.
Wow.
And my family, we all sat around and the chef. It was a live shot from the chef, and we did a Zoom where they taught us how to make the meal, and then we cooked the dinner, and they paired it with some great wines, and it was great.
See,
Yeah,
that's
Allie
so
cooked Greg's
cool.
meal. That's so true. Allie did cook.
I know. That's awesome. Peggy chimed in, of course. I love that. Linda also said that it was fantastic for sure. So I think that's cool. That's so neat. And you know, some of these things, Gregg, have the potential of living on past this
Yeah.
pandemic too, because that is something people, I'm sure, loved to experience.
By the way, it absolutely did cross my mind. And Peggy, you talked to Tim about this. that we thought, wouldn't it be fun to come and use the chef's tables? When we coming back into the restaurant, but come and cook your meal, and learn how to
Yeah.
cook your meal and cook your meal. Figure out how to cook your meal with a chef, and then eat it in the restaurant or eat it on 23. So I thought that would be cool.
That is cool. You know, when the properties open again, you know, is there anything again as a temporary normal that we might expect as a guest? I don't know, in terms of maybe transmission barriers, or a lot of people are using like plexi dividers, certainly mask and gloves. What are you kind of thinking about right now in terms of that opening experience?
I mean, you're going to see again. The restaurants will, of course, will have the social distancing stuff, and there'll be dividers, or there'll be, we'll have all that sort of stuff going on. The the and the limitations on people and the seating being more spread out. Um,
Mhm.
but again, going for the low to no contact experiences, so that you don't have to even really check in, that you check in on your phone, and that
Right.
your key is on your phone, and you go to your room if you have that ability. But there'll be plexi at the check-in, and the hotels are a little different than theaters because you go to your own self-contained unit. There won't be as much housekeeping, so you won't have, if you stay more than one night, housekeeping won't be entering daily to clean your room,
Mm.
so that you, again, that low to no contact experience. Uh,
Right. Somebody, you know, Sydney, your colleague Sydney was on a webinar a couple of weeks ago, and I think she had a really good point. And that was, you know, your hotel teams kind of kept housekeeping behind the scenes, you know, like the cleanliness. It was something that you're always doing and have been excellent at this whole time. But from the guest perspective, it was kind of more hidden. But now it's probably going to be more visible just
Much
to
more
give
front and
people
center.
that, yeah, yeah, to give people that sense of comfort and well-being. So that's great. And of course, increased sanitation, I'm sure. What about the impact on special events? You know, that's my world. So I know the answer, but from your point of view, you know, the impact on special events, obviously they're not happening because the properties are closed, but what have you been seeing in that area for the hotels?
Well, I mean, it's still a little early, but I did see a great story yesterday about the one. I mean, I saw a story that our kind of hotels, will lend themselves to events. We have such large spaces that we'll be
Right.
able to spread people out much more easily than like a small hotel that maybe has a few thousand feet of meeting space. We have thousands and thousands of feet of meeting space. They won't be able to have an event the way we can have it if you were at the Hilton, for example, or if you were at the Pfister or you're at the St. Kate. We have such large space. We prefer to have more people in them, but to the extent that we can still have events, still have weddings. So I know you want to hear that. We can have a wedding, and we have the room to spread it out. So
Yeah.
I think that's going to help us as we get through this period.
Definitely. This wasn't a spread out wedding because it happened before, but
That was a
I
great
just want
wedding.
to show people the Monarch Lounge because it's so fantastic and just a beautiful part of the historic Hilton. And for anyone who hasn't been to the Hilton, either the Monarch Lounge or the Chop House, or to stay or experience a party, I mean, it is one of the most beautiful places. It's so, so charming in so many ways. And since Linda's watching, we gotta also show our photo of
That
four the
was
four
a
of us
great
with
wedding.
Adam too. So much fun. What about any thoughts in terms of projected reopen dates for any of the three properties, at least here locally?
We're working on it, and I would tell you that some will come soon.
Yeah.
We're getting in that direction. This is what the hotels are really responsive to the economy, and as the economy begins to open up, and people start to move around, then we'll be ready to for guests of the hotels.
And you might not know the right answer to this, I'm not sure, but is the best place to keep up with your plans on like your social media outlets for the hotels?
Yeah, I think that's probably a good
Website?
place. Any news outlet. Trust me, as we open hotels, you'll hear about it.
Well, we're going to know and we're going to be ready. I love that. I also wanted to touch base about Marcus Cares. I thought that, again, you guys are so community focused, and I loved hearing about this Marcus Cares. In fact, Aaron from your marketing team sent me a message of one of your colleagues that posted something from the Morning Blend with me on Marcus Cares, your Facebook group, internal Facebook group, which was super cool. But what is this? I know some perishable food giving you guys have been doing. You've been actually trying to help people in this temporary time find some jobs that are needing people currently. What is Marcus Cares all about?
Well, Marcus Cares. First of all, the best thing about Marcus Cares was had I can take no credit for Marcus Cares other than just having line up with my name, and because it was really our people who came and said we want to make sure that we take care. How do we take care of our people? And so let's start with creating a website that is going to have resources for people. So how do people file for unemployment? How do people, if we have things, so a vendor, at the beginning, the vendors were like, we've got trucks of food that we don't even know what to do with. So, we were able to immediately get food out to our people who were food insecure. We were able to post for jobs. So if people are looking to hire, a lot of the Amazons and the groceries, they were all hiring because they needed people because everybody was stuck at home. So we were able to make those connections, and that was our people saying, how do we maintain our community of people? And they said, what? And then we're also going to create a private Facebook group, which has been amazing. I sort of described it as because we have internal networks, we have internal, internet, internal networks where people can do HR stuff. And I said, that's sort of like, that's good. But the Facebook stuff is like a big hug, and people are sharing fun things that they're doing and stories, and it's just a way to stay connected to everybody.
Yeah, I think that's so cool. And I've heard stories from your team too that they've really appreciated that. And it's been a great way for people to be connected too, which is so cool. And what about, I think that I've been thinking about you a lot because I have this teeny tiny little business, and I just can't even explain how much I admire even just the ability for you and the people that work closely with you to just go through this and weather what's happening. I know you've been through other experiences before, probably nothing quite like this.
Never
But
like this, David.
oh my gosh. So I can only imagine, but how hard has it been to balance like the people aspect with the business aspect? I mean, you're juggling two critical things there.
Look, we have so many good people that are in the leadership of our company that it makes it possible to do all of it. I mean, it's hard. There's no doubt that it is hard, but it is. But it's because we have great people, and they're the ones who are pulling us through. I'm not doing this by myself. There's no way you don't do anything like this by yourself. You don't run the company day to day even when things are going okay. It's all about the people.
Yeah, that's awesome. So the other part that I was curious about was, again, getting back to some of the community involvement, but I've become a super, super fan of Sculpture Milwaukee. And I hadn't really heard, I've been checking the website and looking at other things. But this is something that your dad really brought to the city, right?
Yep, that's my dad's project. No one was going to tell him no, and and he's been working on it for years. And his idea was not it wasn't just about bringing art to downtown. And for those that don't know, it's like the world's largest one of the world's largest public sculpture gardens. It's a sculpture museum that you can have every day just walking down the street in the summertime in Milwaukee, and this year's is happening again, and it's a great
So is it still June to October?
Yeah, I think I don't know the exact dates, but
Okay,
right
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll be putting off the sculptures, and it's a great this is again for people needing to you want to go out on a walk, you want to get outside. It actually lends itself very well to the situation that we're in, so that you can go and experience something and experience. It's world class art. This is not, someone just. This is. There's really nothing like it in the world. But the idea
No.
was also to help the businesses. It was the idea of my dad said, how do I get, I love art, but how do I get people to walk down the avenue? How do I get more foot traffic on the avenue? And what if I put a sculpture garden there? Would that give foot traffic? Because foot traffic brings people, and
Yeah.
they support businesses. And so it was done with the idea of, or if your office is there, it's
Right.
another reason to want to have your office right there, because it's a very enriching experience when you walk into your building every day. Uh,
Yeah.
so that
It's
was
spectacular. It really has turned out to be something, so cool and amazing, and it keeps evolving even from year to year now. So people can look forward to it in the summertime and into early fall. And that Sculpture Milwaukee website does have a lot of good information, so you can check that out as well. All right, a few last things to wrap up our conversation, but I couldn't not ask you about DNC. So this is one of those things. I know we are all very, very hopeful on the impact that the DNC will have on our city coming up now in August. Any insight to share with us about maybe what you're thinking about, your impression of what might happen coming up?
I don't know actually where they are right now. I think look, they moved the weeks. It's going to be shorter. They moved it later into the summer to hopefully be able, so they can hopefully have it. What it is, we don't know.
Right.
But I think at a minimum it'll be helpful. Even if it's virtual, it's going to be virtual from Milwaukee. And I don't think it's
Right.
going to be totally virtual, because it still requires, it's still going to require people to be here to support what they're doing.
Mhm.
So our hope is that we're able to share with the world that Milwaukee is still a great place no matter what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see how it develops, along with other things for summer of 2020. But kind of as we wrap up here, what are your just personal thoughts, kind of outlook moving forward? Tomorrow and beyond. What are some of the things you've been thinking about?
It's interesting, when being closed, I'm still unbelievably busy. We're very focused on how do we get through this? How do we get back to whatever the new normal is? The new normal will be something, again, I have this belief, and I feel pretty confident that people want to be together. People want to get out and explore and travel, and they want to experience things together. They don't want to sit in their house all day long. They don't want to be on Zoom meetings all day long. They
Please, no,
I,
stop.
I know. And so, is it going to be different? Is there going to be some differences? Sure. Will some more people work from home? Sure. Some more people will work from home. But at the end of the day, 2, 3, 4 years from now, are people going to be out traveling? Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be out traveling. Are people going to go out to the movies and go for a dinner and a date night out? Absolutely, they're going to do that. It was really interesting. Right before we closed the theaters on a Tuesday, we'd sold thousands and thousands of tickets on that Tuesday across our circuit. I think 50,000 tickets we'd sold, or 20. I don't remember what the number was.
Wow.
When the world was going completely sideways, and they were saying we've got to close everything down, and people are going, "Oh, I still want to go to the movies." So, and I walked into to Blue one night at the top of the Pfister, and Blue was jammed, and I'm like, oh man, how everyone's supposed to be locking down, and we're so people want to be together, and when it's safe and they're comfortable and the ship's righted, and it will. We've been through these things
Mm.
before. The ship will get righted, and we will go back to doing what we do, which is take great care of people, have great people, as my dad coined the phrase, people taking care of people.
Yes, I love that phrase. People taking care of people. Greg, I know that a lot of people listening and in our community, I'll just say this on behalf of all of us, but we are so grateful and really appreciative of everything you have done for our community and beyond, what you are doing now and what I know you all will be doing in the future. And there's so many people who are rooting for you guys and are so excited to get back to it for movies, hotels, up at Blue, Giggly. I mean, I'm ready to pop the champagne. I'm going to meet you
Oh,
there.
me too. Me too.
And I want to just say personally too, thank you so much. You've always been so kind and so thoughtful. You've you said yes right away to talking to me, and your generosity and friendship and business relationship means a lot. So I'm super grateful, and we wish you and your family well. Everyone stay healthy. We can't wait to see you guys back at it. So thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, David. Thanks for all you do too. Thanks for great. You know what? This was great. Seeing everybody's name and seeing Laura, seeing everybody's name on this list. And
There's Adrian too. Adrian's here.
Yeah, Claire.
Julie.
Everybody. This is great to see everybody. I can't wait to see everybody in person.
Yeah, so fun. So thank you again. Enjoy the upcoming Memorial Day weekend. Hey, Greg, tune in tomorrow because you know Peggy's going to be on.
Okay. Oh yeah, I got to hear what she
All
give us some
awesome.
of her great top secret cooking recipes.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to tune. I just want to know if she's gotten her haircut yet.
David, I'm not going near that.
I know. I'm just giving her a jab. Thanks again, Greg. It's so good. I can't wait to see you in person. Say hi to your family.
Take care.
Take care. All right, coming up next, I'm really excited for all of you to meet this great entrepreneur, Mazen Muna, who, you know, I got to tell you, I actually have never met you in person. First of all, welcome, Mazen. How are you?
I'm good. If you're good, I'm good.
Oh, good. Mazen, there you are. Perfect. So here's the cool thing is that I really have been watching you on social media, and I thought as I was putting this David Caruso live together, you know, I got to talk to this guy because you are so intriguing with what you're doing, how you're adapting. And, you know, I think if I have this right, your portfolio of businesses is the Plum Lounge, BAR MKE, the Dogg Haus, Metro Car Wash, and Detailing Center. Did I miss anything?
Not that I can think of. That's
very cool. So tell me, how are you adapting? What's been happening at your different businesses? What's the status of your different outlets?
So first and foremost, thank you for having me on. In regards to adaptation, I mean, there's really nothing else that we as small business owners don't have the opportunity to do anything except for to adapt, especially when there's government mandated closures and things that are recommended by the CDC. We really need to just kind of, you know, look for the safety of our customers. Several of my businesses are closed currently. My only restaurant that is open is the one on Brady Street, the Dogg Haus on Brady Street, and Metro Car Wash and Detailing, which is actually really busy right now. We've taken the opportunity to purchase some shuttle vehicles, and we are picking up and delivering people's vehicles sanitized door to door with contactless as a contactless service, and that has been doing well. So
Mason, this is where I first really saw you, because I'm like, this guy's everywhere. He's dropping off cars, picking up cars. I mean, North Shore, South Side, West Side. I mean, you were the service aspect of what you've been doing to take care of people's vehicles has been phenomenal. Is that a typical service standard for you, or is that something you adapted?
That absolutely has been a service standard. But I have more focus now because I'm here on site, open to close 7 days a week to make sure that our customers are taken care of. Yesterday, my day started at 5 a.m. and my last delivery was at 10 p.m. So it was a long day.
Wow.
But, you know, we're willing to go as far north as Green Bay, as far south as Chicago, and as far west as Madison. Really reaching out and going to the customer when the customer can't reach out and come to us is a reverse mentality from what it used to be, and it's necessary. And it's not temporary. This is going to be permanent moving forward. When the office buildings fill up, when people are at home on Sundays with their kids and, you know, don't have the opportunity to get things done, we'll still go to people's homes, businesses, and do pick up and delivery.
Wow, that's so cool. And everything just comes out of there looking bit shiny new, which is awesome. I think there's nothing better than a perfectly detailed car.
I started detailing cars when I was 8 years old in my parents' garage, and then I spent 7 years in the car rental world, spending a large portion of my time managing the cleaning and sanitizing of rental cars. And then I've been doing this particular location for the last 12 years. So I've been doing it, I guess, since the last time that I could remember.
And where is the actual location of the garage?
We are at 1510 North Van Buren. It's the corner of Lyon and Van Buren Street, kitty corner to the East Point Pick and Save.
Nice, nice. So one of the other restaurants that I know right now isn't open, but the taco bar, oh my gosh, everyone is craving tacos. Is this on Jefferson Street?
It is. So Plum Lounge, Taco Bar, and the Dogg Haus all share walls. That started out as one large space, being Ed DeBevick's a long time ago. And
Mason, I got news for you. Guess who opened up Ed DeBevick's and was one of the managers there? Me.
Did you get a chance to make fun of the customers when they came in, or how was that whole situation? I've never visited.
Oh.
I've heard great things.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we had a great time. And you know, it's really funny because just until this conversation, I mean, I knew that you had that strip on Jefferson Street, but until literally this second, I didn't make the connection that you know, that's the old Ed DeBevick's, 780 North Jefferson Street.
Right.
So it's so cool to see that space now kind of divvied up. I mean, the Plum Lounge is really the meat of what used to be Ed DeBevick's. That's so cool.
Yeah, and so I mean, we're adapting. I think the most difficult part about this whole situation, and not to speak negatively about anything, because this is a positive interview and everything should remain positive, but it's just the uncertainty of how people are going to adapt and change, and what the new norm will be, or as Mr. Marcus said, the new temporary norm. I mean, he spoke very well when he said temporary norm, because I think all of us are hoping that the handshake, the hug, you know, the elbow thing is cool, but it's just not the same. It's really not the same.
It's not the same. I really did like that too. I picked that up. That was one of the things I wrote down was temporary normal. I think that was a great takeaway. That's so great. Now I want to ask you, what are kind of any current plans to reopen those other restaurants, or are we still kind of waiting?
So if I speak about the Marquette University Dogg Haus location, that all depends on if the students are coming back, or if the students are going to be online only. UWM, I believe, I hope I'm not misquoting this, but I do believe that UWM stated that they were going to online classes only for the fall semester. That's a big problem if you have a university location with no university people. So I can't make a firm decision on that location quite yet. I can't make any major decisions right now until we see what people's behavior is going to be like, or what it's going to look like once things do open. But I will say that in my particular situation, opening is not just going to be open the doors and let's go. There are changes that are going to have to take place. Whether it's removing furniture, and whether it's, whatever it is, opening is going to take its time. It's going to start out with limited hours. Even my Brady Street location, I may not be open past 10 p.m. on the weekends for a good amount of time, because it's very difficult to crowd control people leaving the bars. I have a 280 square foot restaurant there, and we can typically have 40 people in line with 20 of them inside, just shoulder to shoulder. And at that point, we have to look out for the safety of our staff and our customers. So I guess I'll be looking at what other similar operations are doing as well, and taking the positives from each one, and then combining some thought into how we are going to approach the new temporary norm.
Yeah. That makes total sense. And I know that customers listening to somebody like you, and I think this is what is key, can definitely feel the thought, the genuine care and concern, and still the desire to get back to it as soon as we can. But it's that extra level of care and concern and genuine, like heartfelt want to make sure that everyone is taken care of that is going to make your places busier than ever. And I just want to give you a huge thank you. I know that those cars are lined up. They need to be ready for Memorial Day weekend. I know you're super busy.
Back is streaming
But
right now. They're mad because I'm not helping them. And I said, listen, do this. Just when I come back, I'll just have to work twice as hard to get caught up.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. The viewers appreciate it. As I said, I was just super intrigued by you. I know you're doing great things. I'm looking forward to pulling my car in and eating tacos and hot dogs and meeting you in person, my friend.
You don't have to. You can send me your address and we'll come pick it up.
Awesome. You've got a deal. Thanks again. Enjoy your upcoming weekend. I really appreciate you being here.
All the viewers. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So that was so great. Thank you, everybody. Gregg, Mazen, wow, that was just an awesome 45 minutes. I really appreciate the conversations. I hope all of you enjoyed it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I want to make sure that nobody misses tomorrow because let me tell you, I have got a lot of fun in store. The one, the only Miss Peggy Williams-Smith from Visit Milwaukee, the president and CEO of Visit Milwaukee. Tune in tomorrow, Friday, 2:00 p.m. Central Time on Events by DC Facebook page. David Caruso Live episode 2 is done. Thank you all and enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow, me and Peggy. Thanks. Take care. Have a good day.